think it's time we can start, right? What do you guys think? Time to start? All right, let's go ahead and hit that intro. Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I knew there was one thing I had to do, and that's get my tea over here. I should have done that all this time. Welcome to the stream, gang. I'm Professor Bodhi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Hello to Van Trashing, Mackenzie, and Zach. Yeah, today's kind of a big day, right? Kind of, sort of. I'm going to reveal, you guys have kind of known for a while, right, that I've had a concept in my head for a while, and I've been trying to, hello Draco, welcome in, and yeah, try to figure out what it would be called. And I had an epiphany last night. I'd been sitting on some names, and every night before I went to sleep, I'd always think about what works and what doesn't, and you know, the vibe. I have on screen, by the way, before I get to talking about what the name is, I'm not going to reveal it yet. I wanted to wait just a little bit so we can give people a chance to join. I didn't want to give the name and then essentially jump away from that topic, work on the Skarmory stuff. So for the time being, what we're going to do is we're going to work on Skarmory art first. And I chose Baby Skarmory. I did a poll, actually, and we can take a look at the community results for the poll. And funny enough, the only two comments did ask about Skarmory, and Skarmory was the design I was thinking in my head. So it's cool that you guys, you know, talked about Skarmory, although Skarmory only got 21% of the vote. Because I was just curious just to see where people were at. And I asked, question of the day, in your opinion, which Pokemon here deserves a baby form the most? Skarmory sat at 21% in third place. Turtonator was in second place with 30% of the vote. Tropius, I was surprised about this because I feel like Tropius would greatly benefit from a baby form. Was in fourth place with only 15% of the vote. And then finally, first place. And I could see why Druddigan was at 35% of the vote, and it's because Druddigan, I would say Drampa is up there too, looks very developed, and I think dragon types are allowed to be in that space because they're, you know, generally considered to be powerful beings. The prompt for the month is going to be design a baby Pokemon. I posted it in the general chat of my Discord today as well, so you can see that there. Basically just draw a baby Pokemon. I feel like it would be a pretty straightforward kind of month for it, just because it's my birthday and I thought about birth and babies, and it's a simple and cute prompt. I think doing specific community Fakemon, I want to make things open, but at the same time I think I do have to give you guys sometimes narrow boundaries to, you know, help along ideas and force creativity. That said, like I said, we're going to start with Baby Skarmory, of which I did a sketch quickly just to kind of get my ideas out, because the focus of today's design will be not for a monster, but for the new name for the project. And as I was saying, I wasn't sure entirely if I was going to reveal it today. And I told my brother and one of my mods, just to gauge their reaction. They both really liked it. I myself, I wouldn't go for it. And let's go ahead and we'll get started on Skarmory. Baby Skarmory, if you guys got a name for it, let me know. I think it won't be a flying type. It's only going to be steel. But yeah, that said, I look at a lot of factors for the name. And we'll talk about the name, you know, again, in depth once I kind of finish sketching out my vision for this Skarmory. And you know, it's something that I wouldn't, you know, let you guys in on if I didn't think it was worthy to carry the name of a project that, you know, I'm very excited to work on. A name has to have a good look, feel, like visually, does it look, you know, it sounds dumb, but it's true. Like, is it easy to read? Is it easy to say? Does it describe, you know, the game or the concept immediately, you know? I'm gonna be eeping, but not a worry, Ben. So again, very excited. And from here on out, once I give you guys the name, I'd love to see you guys incorporate the name in conversation. And to me, I would appreciate it, of course, to get any feedback on the name, but then to also, you know, essentially, yeah, just kind of use it in the conversation. I think that'll help me make it feel more real and whatnot. Coming up with baby Pokemon is going to be hard, says Zach. I'm used to making evolutions. Here's the thing. It's still an evolution in a weird way. We're devolving. And I think it's a good thing if it's not easy. It's going to force you to be creative and to think. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a Skarmory Dex entry, because I think a Dex entry or two. It'll be smart to utilize what the games give us so we can figure out a way to kind of, again, work backwards, right? And think about how it goes from one form to the next. So, from Bulbapedia, it reads, Skarmory is a silver-gray avian Pokemon with long metallic blue neck, legs, and tail. It has yellow eyes, a pointed beak with several pointed teeth, and a triangular crest on its head. There are red feathers under the sheets that cover its sharp wings, and each feather can be moved independently. Its wings are actually hollow, okay, allowing it to travel up to 185 miles per hour. That's 300 kilometers an hour. Its feet have 3 toes on them, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Tail has hooked ends. Its steel wings become tattered and bashed in from repeated battles, but once a year, the battered wings grow back completely. We're going to be using this for the baby form. This process restores the cutting edge of its feathers, which are sharp enough to be used as blades and sharper than any man-made sword. Its skin and feathers are solid due to being raised in very harsh conditions. Its nests are usually found in thorn bushes, where continual scratching of a young individual's skin will eventually harden it into an iron-like state. Let's use that as the main force for the design visually. Let's see, Skarmory's hard body rusts easily, so it stays in nests on rainy days. In ancient regions where these Pokemon are common, warriors would use the sharp feathers that fell off as swords. So again, really awesome stuff over here to use. After nesting in bramble bushes, the wing of its chicks grow hard from scratching by thorns. Perfect. So as you can see visually, what I think I want to do, and I've pulled up a bunch of baby Pokemon over here. If you have trouble selecting a Pokemon, look up single stage Pokemon and just go down the list and see if there's something that speaks to you. Even you could use one of the ones that I posted in the poll. So to me, I really love Skarmory's body over here. It kind of reads, hello Dingus, welcome in. It kind of reads almost like an egg. So I love that design concept of having like a baby with the egg kind of built in. Hell, I'd love to make a monster with that concept. So I want to basically see if I can do something like that. I think invoking that shape will be really great. And I kind of want to give them big legs. And it's going to be a flightless bird, you know? Fragile, fragile, and fledgling. It's not necessarily fragile, but I see where you're going. Maybe it could have to do with fledge. It might be fragile in some way, but here's my concept. I'm going to have all these red spikes, which are basically this baby's feathers. I should say what I'm using as inspiration. So apparently the Andean condor, according to Bulbapedia, is one of the potential, I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but it's one of the potential point of references for, hello, welcome in, Soul. One of the references for Skarmory's design. You can see it's got these really striking feathers. It's got an interesting crest shape. It's kind of like a fin. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but regardless, I use that as a point of reference, aka looking up condor reference. Fletche? What does Fletche mean exactly? Maybe we can find something with Scar or Armory, like maybe it could be Arsenal, right, instead of Armory, or instead of Scar, maybe it's like a nick or a cut, right? Let's see if we can evolve alongside the visual, the name as well. But as you can see, these ugly yet somehow cute baby condors, they've got really spiky, it looks thorny, it looks, again, spiky. I want to have the red feathers really be like almost like a warning. Like, even though I'm a cute chick, I'm very sharp. And it's contained in its, you know, metallic little body, waiting to fly. And utilizing the kind of bare head, just like Skarmory has, I think there's really something fun there to potentially use. Here's this picture where this creature is looking kind of crazy. So I also really like how stark the body face coloring and the body is. I could see myself potentially doing something like having maybe the edges of these wings slash spikes be maybe red, just to add color. I don't know if the reds will be too chick cut. I do like chick cut. That is cute. We'll keep working until something like really clicks. But keep it coming, gang. I appreciate it. Let's have the big feet come down this way. And again, proportion is king when it comes to a lot of these designs, be it Pokemon or hell, how I like to illustrate. It'll just be kind of unwieldy, and it's just a little chickadee, and maybe it's too heavy to fly, right? Maybe its only defense mechanism, because it can't fly, is its incredibly thick spiky fur, so predators can't even get close. And then it holds on to the eggshell it was hatched in. We could say Skarmory eggs are incredibly sturdy, right? And like I said, I started ideating, hello KK, welcome in, because I want to get to, again, telling you guys what the name is for monsters, which, again, I would love to hear you guys continue to practice using the name that I give you. And then, of course, hearing the, I want to hear feedback. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an egg boy. It's definitely resting in its shell for sure. Because I see the egg shape here and I want to continue that. I have the baby Pokemon surrounding our reference because you can see how incredibly simple these designs are. In fact, egg is a perfect way to describe Cleffa egg shape. Obviously, the egg Pokemon happenin. There's an egg shape that's made oval shape right between the two circular shapes. Badoo, right? Egg shape. Elekid, egg shape. Oval shape here. Munchlax, oval. Why do you think they do that? Because it's simple. It looks like babies because we're invoking an egg where they hatch from. It's all intentional. That's what character design is, right? I could see myself adding maybe some breaks potentially. Maybe not. We'll see. No, this is going to be for Skarmory because this is my Discord's community challenge for April, which is make a baby Pokemon for an existing mon you feel deserves one. We'll be working on a whatever the monster name is going to be after I reveal the name, once I finish this ideation. I was saying at the top of the stream, I'm waiting for more and more people to join. That way I can basically give, and we're going to really make its mouth really big. A lot of times you'll see these Pokemon birds, they basically they've got massive heads, like they keel over, and all they do is have their mouth open waiting for their parents to feed them. So something that I thought we could do is, again, lean into maybe the darker color of Skarmory here for the head, just like many condors do. Hell, I wonder if maybe I fuse the eggshell, and as the chick grows bigger, the shard of the eggs keep growing out, the metal of it becomes the feather, right? I think that could be a really cool, fun little thing to do. Because the head is going to be rather bald, which I don't think is a bad thing. I do worry that there might not be enough to connect to Skarmory. Maybe with the colors that might be true. We'll see. But I kind of want to use the interesting tail shape as like maybe like a lone tail feather that could just be red, just to add a splash of color to the top. And again, keep the head incredibly simple. As you can see, the condor vultures are really wrinkly, so to me it feels like a fun idea to potentially yeah, you know what, let's simplify it and we'll have it come like this. And we could even have like the body have the darker navy blue bits for the face or the neck guard. And it's got an interesting face. I'm getting very, what is it, Archeops? Is that the Pokemon? Let's give it, as we see, a lot of these baby Pokemon have simple eyes. I'm going to make him like a mad boy. And I'm going to give him like the Cleffa, like, you know, kind of like tired eyes. Like this guy is not getting enough sleep. It'll be big yellow eyes. And I'll have I like the Gen 2 kind of eyes like that. And that feels like it fits, you know? Let's do something like maybe, I guess it doesn't have any. Honestly, this so far seems to work for me. I think it does look like him. He looks like a little badass. And I'll give him a little nostril thingy over there. And he's just sitting on the ground. Shrapnel and Raptor. I really love that. The eggshells becomes armor. Exactly, Trash. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm kind of thinking. So originally I was thinking that, and who knows, maybe it might still be the case. I could see it do something like this, where maybe just to get that sharpness, it could be that the egg is cut clean, or I can have the feathers kind of end up being red. I think I really want to keep Shraptor. Chat, what do we think about Shraptor? And say thank you to Dingus if we like Shraptor. We can say Shraptor what's Skarmory? Like, I bet something simple like the Iron Bird Pokemon. Let me see. And simplicity is the key to a lot of baby Pokemon. So I could go even more simple. I think I'm doing more than I need to, as you can see on the side. Elekid is kind of like necessarily a little more detailed because Electabuzz is very detailed, right? Okay, so Skarmory is the armored bird Pokemon. We can call, maybe instead of the armored bird, it could be like something like guarded chick. But not guarded, something chick Pokemon. Shraptor the metal chick. I don't like metal chick, but we're getting closer. What's up, JC? Welcome in. Give him little scissor arms that when it evolves become the wings. That's a very cute idea. I do like that. Although I like the simplicity here where he can't fly. He's too heavy. His plumage is coming in, right? Skarmory. Oh, that's great too. Skarmory and Skarmini. That's cute. I'll mark that down too. Let's start putting some color in. Again, I started sketching the concept, the Iron Chick Pokemon. What's lower than iron? Like, we had metal, right? Like the aluminum? Or not copper. That's a different color. Maybe something that's like hard, but not as hard as, say, iron, right? So here's the sketch I started with before I did stream. And it was important to just get even that because I got to a really great place. I like bronze, but then the coloration would be different, which I don't necessarily mind. But looking at the rules of a lot of baby Pokemon, ooh, the tin chick. That might be good, Mask. Scarrow. All right, Mackenzie. I like that. Scarrow is good too. Well, there's nothing inherently arrow-like. Although we could say maybe like when it's scared, it fires off its feathers like arrow or like shrapnel. So in that way, Shraptor sounds really good too. Stone Minecraft joke, shrapnel chick. Oh, the thorn. Maybe we could do the thorny chick. I like thorny because I'm marking it for you guys here. In the decks, why is this one, my beard, you guys can see this maybe? This one little thing kind of peeks out. Let me bring that in. See, this is a Pokemon that deserves a baby form. Welcome in, Rosa. Good to have you. And hello to anyone I missed. Welcome aboard. Yeah, I think Skarmory for sure. Someone left a comment. In fact, I want to read the comments. I got to go back to reading the question of the day comments. All right. So again, the prompt or the question was, working on 2 designs today. One for my first ever monster for my monster tamer. Potential name inbound. Once we get the colors in, I'm gonna finally name monsters, and whether or not it sticks, you know, we'll see. It might very well evolve or change here and there. And then 2, the focus of my Discord's April art community prompt. Be sure to join our Discord to participate. The prompt is baby Pokemon. So in first place was Druddigan at 37%. Second place was Turtonator at 29%. Skarmory at 20%, and then Tropius in 14%. I really wanted to do Tropius. Skarmory was like my second option. Tropius was my first. Loric writes, ever since it's got a 3D design, Skarmory has gone from feeling like a fierce predator to an awkward middle stage. So I think it's good for it to get a baby form and a final evolution. Rec writes, Skarmory I think detested more love in general. Really, all of them could use one just for the fact that it would be nice to use them earlier on the game. But of them, I would personally like one for Skarmory. So I think a little metal chicklet would be adorable. Funny enough, Rec comments 2 hours ago, so 6 hours after, right? Crap, I won't be able to there, but I want to hear the new name. It won't be Bonny Mons. I refuse to believe it hatches that way. That's the issue, right? It's funny that they added baby Pokemon and then they add like this really strong, menacing looking Skarmory in the same gen. So anyway, let's go ahead and put the colors down, and then gang, we get to reveal the new monster's name. Anybody want to take any guesses by any chance? I don't think you'll get it. Let's straight up take Skarmory's colors, by the way. That's a little too light, so let's take the darker shade, and we'll get some nice something that I really want to make sure I do for my own Bonsters design, which will not be called Bonsters anymore. Again, as I was saying earlier, if you missed it, once I give you guys the name, I want to hear genuine thoughts, right? The good and the bad. Again, I'm not married to the name. It's very much possible that I might alter it based on feedback. I have, you know, some thoughts on it, but I wouldn't share anything that I didn't really genuinely love, right? You guys know that about me. I kind of want to add a ring here. I feel like this design would really benefit just adding just a little bit over there. And it's like a helpless guy, right? He's, for a tiny character with a big head, his shell is heavy. The feathers that are coming in are equally getting heavy. So here's where I'm having some trouble. I think doing something like this is very strikingly beautiful. However, part of me wonders if I should do something like this where it's the eggshell is growing out. Chat, what do you think? Should we do something like this where there's like layers to the eggshell? This is really cool because it feels natural, but the ruffles, like its body looks more natural to actual condor chicks, which we can see right here, right on the side. They have their plumage, so I like that juxtaposition of the very clean shell, the messy thorns of its fluffy body. I think I might go for that because it should be simple, and I think that'll take a lot of color. But I want to hear your thoughts anyway, chat. So, okay, so from there, let's go ahead. I'm going to have the rest of Skarmory, this baby Skarmory's body. It's going to be this dark blue. Just again, as a reference to baby condors that have the very bright plumage, you can see it. And then what happens? They have like that really dark head, right? I'm gonna borrow some colors from Wobbuffet. Thanks, buddy. The inside, ooh, that's gonna look nice. We'll add the tongue. And then we're gonna make, it's got yellow eyes. I think people forget that. So I'm just gonna make the whole thing yellow and give it the Gen 1/2 Angie eyes, because I think it really works. Oh, that's nice. And like I said, I think I'm gonna add the silver singular headpiece. If that doesn't necessarily sell Skarmory, let me go ahead and I'm gonna move a lot of these references out of the way because I think I got what I needed out of the baby Pokemon. It's time for us to focus. We'll keep Skarmory here. Thank you for your service, baby Pokemon. You're all cute. There's a few that I don't like. Smooch 'em. You're nasty. Yeah, that looks pretty dang great to me, chat. What do you guys think? And then naturally, come on. Who do you think I am? We're gonna have to hit him with the Flipski. Skarmory. Let's hit a flip. What did it absorb? Okay. Free transform. I think it's pretty dang cute. I'll reline it later, but you know, we're just figuring out color and such. Maybe what I'll do is I will give it, originally I was planning on having the dark blue for the teeth, but I think I'll make it white teeth for just for, you know. Okay, so let's see. If Skarmory is the middle stage, what would the final evo look like? Oh, it would look mad awesome, dude. I would love to see like a Mega Skarmory, something cool. Skarmory is the armor bird. Maybe this the sheath chick Pokemon. I like Thorny for now. Judging by how proud you sound, it's something of a swerve. I don't know, Rosa. Maybe it is. Let's see. Hello, Arthur. Welcome in. Massmon made me think of Shield Chick. Seems the vibe of Evo characterization arc. I really like the red. Maybe the small layers of eggshells. It could be just like some kind of sharp bits. But as of right now, I do like the juxtaposition. But that's just stuff you guys get to look forward to. Looks awesome to use. Sharpeck. Oh, I do like Sharpeck as well. Sharpeck, Shraptor, Skarmory, Scarrow. You guys, strong contenders. Okay, let's add some. We're gonna quickly kind of rummage through this design, and what do we think? Honestly, for a first pass, really like this guy. Are we streaming late for me? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, now that I'm gonna be doing more artwork, I'm going to be needing more of a break because I do a lot of art throughout the day. I'm going to be hoping to hear back from a government art job. So if that's the case, I'll have a regular 9 to 5, and if I do want to stream, it's gonna have to be a little later too. That's if I have energy. It would really suck, but real life comes first, right, gang? Unless you guys make me famous and popular with the Monsters reveal. So let's go ahead and just kind of get this here. Let me zoom out just a bit. Pretty solid. Maybe Talon Metal? Zach knows how much I hate the name Talonflame, you goof. I'm rocking with this little homeboy. Yes, sir. I love this guy. Let's bring the leg out just a bit. And we could do maybe a shape like this. Just so, again, evoke certain kind of Skarmory elements. Like that sharpness of where the thighs are of Skarmory. And it almost looks like a metal underwear. Very the worst vibes, right? The worst that I created. I gotta say, I think this silhouette is very striking. And for that alone, I really like this direction. You know? Now, again, the more I look at it, I'm wondering if I should do... Here, let's test it out. If I do... It might be something like that, maybe. Because there's a cool story to be had about showing that the egg that it's in continues to, like... You know what? It might have to be this, you guys. And if anything, maybe I can add, like... You know, something like that, maybe. What do you think, gang? Do we like this? Let's hear it. In the decks, I'll say something like, these Pokemon are so heavy, they're considered among the heaviest hatched Pokemon. They are born and raised in thorn bushes, right? We're making a nod to Skarmory's Pokedex entry. And so we basically say that they're raised in thorn bushes, and as they chirp out for their parents, they get cut up by the thorns, which shred their metal eggshells that are their only line of protection until their eggshells meld with their body and, you know, start becoming the very first instances of... You know what? I wonder if I should get rid of this line here, actually. Unless... You know what? I did want to keep it because I kind of want to pay, not homage, but show... Yeah. Because you see Skarmory will have he has that neck piece, right? So I'm trying to, like, have that appear within the design. Kind of like a very Pupitar, Larvitar kind of thing. Let's take the white. And we'll make it like maybe larger teeth. I don't know about this thing. I'm trying to do a thing where... Do we maybe we do something like that. I like that it doesn't have any wings. It really kind of adds to the story. They're too heavy to fly. They don't need them yet. You know, they're lodged in these thorn bushes where they're mostly safe, but they're actually getting cut up and getting stronger. They're building their armory of wing feather blade swords things. I really like this design, you guys. Maybe the nose extends out a little too long. Maybe I'll do something like... Yeah, something like that is closer to Skarmory's shape. And maybe, you know what? I could even have potentially some red coming here. Or should I make this whole thing red? Actually, that sells it like a fire type, maybe. Let's do no. We'll keep it silver. Unless I just add a tiny little fin. You know what? Maybe it's a fin in the back. What do you guys like better? This kind of fin? Maybe what I'll also do is maybe have the front of the nose be tipped in metal and just add a nice white kind of highlight to show that the steel typing is like built in. Kind of like that a lot. And this, again, this blue is straight up from... Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah, I like this, dude. I think I nailed it right away. Tell me, gang. So I think you I'd pick him up, but though he's probably going to be heavy, says Rosa. So I think you accomplished the vibe. All I need to hear is the vibe, baby. That's all I care about. I see the baby hair. All right, good. Talonflame when it meets Claw Water. Angie Bird, vibing with it. All right, hate it, but I like that it looks like it just burst out from the egg. How dare you? Claw Water when it means Nail Plant. Zach, I'm going to put you in timeout for these shenanigans. Is the red going away? Where exactly? I don't know, I'm a bit attached. Toth. It looks like a Muppet in the best way. Yeah, I want it to be like a cuckoo kind of bird with its mouth open, you know? It's perfect. All right, good. He's Muppet cute. Hell yeah. Finn, in my opinion, the Finn is too pterodactyl, not bird, which I don't mind. Birds are dinosaurs, so I think it feels okay. I like the Finn. Finn feels more correct. I think the Finn might stay just to get the visual accuracy. And remember, dinosaurs are birds, or is it birds or dinosaurs? Whatever it is, it's okay. Are we done, gang? Did we just crush the assignment? I wonder if maybe... I think it's so simple that it works. Like, I think that's the point. I wonder if I should do silver there. Nah. You know what? If anything, I kind of want to bring in the feet closer. I think that's the only part that's kind of bothering me. That also looks kind of funky. This thing definitely shrieks for 72. Exactly. I remember taking care of a baby crow in my backyard, and anytime I got close, it would open its mouth completely wide, waiting for food. Didn't matter who it was, right? Like a predator or a human, or, you know. 10 out of 10, no notes. Agree with Zach. Birds are dinos, but not all dinos are bird. Beard with the J. Interesting fact, pterosaurs aren't birds or dinosaurs, they're reptiles. Thank you, JC. Think Rosa wants to avoid making it look like a bloody eggshell. Oh, I see. Kind of crushing the assignment. Good. You know, I didn't consider it that, but at the same time, look, the storyline of this bird being raised in thorn bushes, that's their dex entries where they're getting cut up and scratched up. You know, again, I'm also not against going back to the original, which would work because look at this shape. Skarmory's shape is like this at the neck, right? So we could do a thing where you just do that and it separates, like its actual body starts with the plumage here, and that its egg is like perfectly cut open. There's something really aesthetically interesting about that, you know? Nadja, I just like reusing the colors. It looks so awesome. I wish it was an official prevo. Me too, man. We're kind of saving this for underwater dinos like Plesiosaurus or Mosasaurus. So let's see. What is shiny Skarmory? Because there's a lot of shinies between. It does not look good. I'll show it to you, gang. I mean, it looks okay. I'm not trying to shit on shiny Skarmory. but it doesn't look as cool as I thought. I guess I'll, you know, save what it looks like. You can't really go wrong with silver, blue, and red. You know what I mean? Alright, so here's shiny Skarmory. It's right here. And you might be wondering, where, Bonnie? Right here. Shiny Skarmory. It's not bad, but it's very Gen 2, just green. Baby Skarmory doesn't squawk, they squawk. So, okay. Maybe, if anything, the last thing I could potentially do is make its eyes even bigger, just to sell it like even more of a cute baby, and I think that will absolutely just make it cuter. Yeah, can't go wrong with bigger eyes for the baby. And then of course you take some white and you go bop like that. Now I could see myself going with the black like that, which is very cute. But I kind of like it empty like that for some reason. I don't know. I'm colorblind. Is that green? It is actually masked. It is. He's rusty. He is, but to me it's more like Gen 2 green goes brr, you know? So, all right. I think we're good with this. Do we have any last final notes, chat? Oh, wait a second. You know what? We might have to bring the nostril down here. I think that'll be kind of interesting. Give space here. And it's almost like it's a cap to the nose. Oh, you know what? Wait. Skarmory has an interesting nose position. I wonder if I brought it down more like here, would feel more... I think that makes it feel more like Skarmory. Because technically, Skarmory's eyes are like, you see, like, way back here. That looks janky. So I think something like this is better, gang, instead of up there. Right now that I look at it like that, it looks weird. So what do we think of it back in this location? Also, you know what? Maybe we don't need... Got definitely an attitude. He's still my baby. Red feathers being green like the Thorny Bushes. Ah, Mackenzie, another great connection. I might have to do that. You know what? Let's do a quick test. I was gonna surprise you guys, but you know what? I've got you guys here. Why not? Why not? Ooh, flip landed kind of weird. Let me make some quick adjustments. Kind of want to just elevate. You know, honestly, his head could be even bigger, gang. Honestly. In fact, let's lift it up like this. And that it's like, it's kind of got a long neck. So something like this just adds even more of a fun silhouette. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think that's the play. Dang. The level of care I'm giving Fakemon babies. Like, this should be monster stuff, which we'll get to very soon. This little guy. Bigger forehead makes it more baby-like. Yes, that's true. TG7 knows. Down there feels like a lot of empty space on the nose. That's true. That is true. But I don't necessarily hate it, to be honest. Because, you know, here would be weird. We could do something like... Again, I don't necessarily hate it, gang. I'm gonna take the darker blue. You know what? Part of me wants to even go darker. To make it like true Condor. Does that look like Skarmory? I mean, it still kind of does. Let's just leave that color. Okay, flipped, it looks less weird. The power of flipping, gang. I think the eye needs to rotate since his head is leaned back. So imagine with his mouth. Smart. Take care, KK. We will see you soon. You know what? When I get around to drawing my second pass, I honestly don't hate it, but I see exactly what Mackenzie's talking about. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. There we go. And then I just gotta make him angry. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. And then we do something like that. Nah, yeah, I like him looking at the audience. He looks like a dingus, and not our dingus Joe, but just like a dingus. Yeah, he looks like a little shithead, and in the best way possible. I really like this design, you guys. Hope you guys do too. So I'll have the finished art of this done somewhat soon, since it's already mostly done. Part of me wants to just open its mouth up like that, but that just looks weird to me. So I'll leave it like this. Yeah, once I redraw this, we'll be set. He looks like he goes, yeah. He wants food and he looks both 8 minutes old and 80 years old, just like a true baby. That is exactly how you describe it, baby. So, okay, cool. Gang, I think this design is good. Are you guys ready to meet? Oh my god, like most babies, exactly. Chat. I'm like hella nervous to share the name with you guys, because if you guys don't like it, I'm gonna be destroyed. I'm gonna be distraught. Now, again, this is what I want to say. I want to preface that I've been thinking about a name for a long time, like ever since Ben Kipo, and I had a nice chat with him last night. You know, he's been working on Pow Pow World. I know a bunch of you guys are doing your own kind of stuff. I know a lot of YouTube creators like my boy Jack from Subjectively, and you know, even YouTubers or Poketubers that I don't know are doing their own things. Like A Drive has, I think it's called Alestrals, something like that. I raised my hand, waiting to be called on. Nintendo Zombie, let's hear it. You raised your hand politely. What do you got to say to class? Give some iron supplements if you're its trainer. Yeah, I know. That would imagine they evolve faster. Iron, smart. Ticket will be brutally honest. And here's the thing: it is important to be brutally honest. And I just want to preface. I'm gonna start pulling up the name. And while I do that, I'm going to not close, but I'm just going to hide this because I'm going to pull up the name. So I want to say before we... Again, nothing is set in stone. Look, my standards are low. I'll rock with it no matter what. I'll take that. So again... I've been sitting on thinking about names like things that have to do with symbology, ruins, something that feels earthy and old and mystical, yet, you know, above all, with cassette beasts, for example, I'm not sure what the beasts are called, right? But it's got a unique name because it's not a combination of something, right? Like Pokemon, Digimon, Nexomon. Well, I don't know what a Nexo is or a Core, but Digimon is digital monsters, Pokemon is pocket monsters. Professor, I was wondering what you could think you could do to redesign Hisuian Arcanine. I will get into that a little bit later, as I'm going to reveal my big thing that chat's been waiting for. I would do a few things, but it would start. You know what? I can answer that quickly. I don't like the color palette. It's too dingy looking, which maybe is the point, to have it look like it was raised in a volcano. Like it's very like dark, like it's covered in soot. I think it needs more contrast. Or hell, if we want to lean into the rock, getting some graining into the Foo Dog lion statue, maybe white, you know, for marble. The color palette is the big miss for me personally. I much love Hisuian Growlithe. But that said, gang, I think I'm like totally like building this up for no reason. But again, it means a lot for me to have found a name that I really vibe with, right? Because I could have found a name that I didn't necessarily like, but I'm like, it's a placeholder. And that's kind of what Bonster was. And so last night, I was thinking about the things that make my Bonsters what they are, the creatures, right? And it has to do with fantasy and magic, and I want to give them a feeling of being lived into this world. But then I realized something. The name also could affect how their origins are, things like that. And truth be told, I wanted a name that was something that visually, when you look at it, it's appealing. Like, you look at it and you're like, oh, it looks cute or cool or interesting. It feels like jargon, yet it's not. And the most important thing, chat, is it fun to say? Right? Pokemon is easy. It's kind of like what we're used to. Digimon. Have you seen Growlithe Pokemon card? Nice. Thanks, Mom. But basically, I found a word that I think does all of that, which is easy to say, has a nice mouth feel. It looks visually appealing when put together. And above all, feels like its own thing, yet believes like it belongs in the space of Pokemon, Temtem, Cassette Beast, Yokai Watch. The list goes on and on. So, I'm going to reveal the name now, gang. From here on out, I want chat, unless we change it, which can happen, I will be referring to Bonsters. I never want to hear you guys say Bonsters again. But from here on out, we will be designing, not Elgato. We will be designing my creatures called Potempo. And I will tell you what Potempo means and what it stands for and how I got to it. With Arthur saying, get on with it already. So Potempo already feels like Pokemon, Temtem, all these kind of games. And I didn't intentionally do that. It just really worked out, which means my headspace was in the right place. Potempo comes specifically from two words, which is potential, that lives in all of the Potempo, and tempo. So Potempo, what that means, and it even's got like this, I remember I was thinking about Potempo, catchy, cool. I look at it and I feel like I can eat this word. I want to see chat go, Potempo, what up, Sketch? Welcome, fun to say, exactly. So something with Pocket Monsters is that it describes exactly, yeah, let me see those celebration emojis. If you say Monsters, you get automatically timed out for 3,000 million years. Potempo sounds interesting. It looks interesting. And I realized something. I could have gone with something like exactly, Masked, exactly. I'm very close to calling it Totempo as well. The thing I didn't want to go with Totempo is because it's basically totem pole without the LE. I was afraid of cultural appropriation, but totem is absolutely a huge factor in how I got to the name as well. I've been using Totempest as one of my monster concepts. And the idea with Potempo is, again, the way I'm going to do evolution is closer. I love that you guys are saying Potempo in chat. Do you guys like it? I'm seeing it in chat. It looks good to me. Exactly, Dingus. It looks and feels even tribal, like something ancient. It's a word that doesn't feel like Pokemon, pocket monsters. Yet, when you say Potempo, you can hear potential. I would say I think it is used in plural as well, like Potempo. Like, look at that range of Potempo down there. There's so many Potempo down the road. I don't think we would say Potempos. And it's so bouncy, exactly. Getting the Po in the front and Po in the back. So let me tell you more about the name. Makes me think of potato. I'm going to get comments like that. I just got to get used to it. Potempo, there's a lot of cool layers to it. So when I look at my designs, right? When we see Pokemon, let's think about like the latest generation, for example, with Potempon, definitely not. I would say, let's look at Sprigatito. Sprigatito is one of the latest Pokemon, right? He is a small, cute grass cat. When he becomes Florigato, it's like a teenager grass cat. And then when it's an adult, he's an adult grass cat. Obviously, there are more layers to it, right? The middle one uses yo-yo tricks, and the last one is wearing like a masquerade kind of look, and it's like a magician. Potempo, I like it. Good, good, good. Almost sounds like potential, which is exactly what I'm trying to go for. Potempo rolls off the tongue. Exactly. Does Potempo have anything to do with music? So I want to go into where the tempo parts from of the name. So the idea of Potempo is that one of the words that I wanted to Potempani, if our boy Michael was here, Potempis. No, I think it's just going to be Potempo to make it easy for everyone. I've not seen any of your designs for them because we haven't, and we'll be designing our very first Potempo on screen today. Let's go, chat. You can see their design motif. Yeah. And the idea is I wanted to make my Potempo peers to the trainers, right? With Pokemon, they're also partners, but everything about my game, the way the evolution works, it's going to feel more like Digimon, where they're more your partners. And there's going to be formal and informal evolutions, right? Boost Evo is more like a Digimon mechanic. And what that means is I want to design my Potempos like totem poles. Now, when we look at a totem pole, you see different animals in them, right? And animals, you know, in indigenous culture represent a lot of different things. So I'll give you a good example. Let's even use zooming out, right? Let's even use like a lot of these as, you know, just references. Let's say for now, I'm potentially going with, I'll do 4 just in case. So with the designs that I'm planning on doing, right? Why is it moving like that? Let's say these are the Mons, right? In fact, I'll even change, just so you guys get a better idea of how the evolutions will be. How I plan on doing it. Because I was thinking, how do we make it feel like this, right? How does it work when it comes to preserving the name rights? I think me kind of like, the way it works is there's like a soft licensing type of thing, not licensing, but copyright ownership. I've already got the Potempo name for like Twitter and Instagram, things like that. I looked and see if people are using it down the line, if it ever becomes a real thing. In the same way, right, when like say Jack from, you know, Subjectively is working on Enigmorphs, when he's ready to take it to whatever level, he'll have in the court, if anyone try to take it from him, he could be like, oh, I have video proof of me using these names, things like that, right? Get Apple on the phone tomorrow morning for Potempo emojis. Let's go. You just read my mind about the Potempo being partially based on totem poles. Pose, potentially. Potentially, yes. The idea is, so for example, if I have an owl bear Potempo, it's so cool to say out loud. This is how I would want to do it. The owl is going to be the second form, and the baby is going to be a teddy bear. In Pokemon, it's a very different thing, right? You have a baby teddy bear, and then you have a bigger teddy bear, and then it becomes a full-fledged bear, right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It works for Pokemon. In Digimon, it's a little more random, right? You have, for example, Gatomon starts as this cute bubbly thing, and then it becomes like a cat, like an anthro cat, and then it becomes a sexy angel. It's a little too random for my taste. And then it becomes like this crazy dragon. I love that element of it being like almost random and surprising, but I think there could be a fun thing here where, again, the totem pole aspect is it starts as a teddy bear, and you can't look at them as Pokemon. They're not. They're Potempos. It becomes an owl, and it doesn't have to be super jarring. It could be like Remoraid into Octillery, right? Where the secondary concept, right? Remoraid as a water gun becoming a water cannon is the through line. It's not that it's a fish becoming an octopus. So it's a teddy bear that becomes an owl, that becomes an owl bear. Slime to Dino to, yeah, stuff like that is like kind of random in Digimon, and I love it for that. But this, there's a little more direction, and that's what's going to set Potempo apart from, say, Pokemon or Digimon. Potential Ghost Potempo, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to be having a lot of, I've already come up with the decks of concepts and whatnot. So yeah, I want you guys to be very honest with me. If there's things you don't like about the name, or if you think it's this or that, let me know. Again, I wouldn't have revealed it if I didn't think it had the potential to be something that I'm putting my franchise on. I guess my only worry is people might be like, oh, it sounds like Temtem, because there's Tem in the middle. Who cares? Oh, it sounds like Pokemon in the front because the Po. Who cares? You know, to this day, people are like, Digimon's a copy of Pokemon, despite the fact that Digimon came out first. People will say whatever they want at the end of the day, right? So it's somewhat related instead of not at all. Exactly. There's a little bit more of a direction. Are you going to go for a more spirit approach? That I will figure out more and more as I design them. I think what I kind of want them to be in the world is that animals will exist in my world, because I want there to be like farms with chicken and cow and, you know, things that we're familiar with. But Potempo are a more ancient, magical sect of beasts that live in the world, you know? The deck's name. So there are a lot of different concepts I've been thinking of. I got an awesome suggestion from Gym Leader JC. He said the Almanac, which is ALL and then like an almanac. I'm quite fond of the Beast Tome, Beast and then Tome, like a book. I've got a few ideas in mind that might work with the more lantern approach of how you catch, or rather, I don't want to say catch, but, you know, whether or not, for example, I was worried about, you know, not using the word type. It's like, am I trying to be too different by going with classes, right? Because it's going to be more D&D fantasy oriented. Encyclopedia, Potempedia, Primordial Potempo, which there'll be the gods. Potempedia, the Potamore. Welcome in, Justin. No worries, no worries. Never need to announce that you're late. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm just happy to see you guys. So yeah, I wonder, like, Bonnie, you already have Potempo. Do you really need to have a different name for the types? And sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no. I say yes because I don't want people to be like, oh, if they're types, is Gothic strong against Cryptic? Is Gothic weak against Lithic? Because when we have types, we think of something else. So I want to say I might be changing classes to domains. The Gothic domain, the exotic domain, the runic domain. Domain still acts as a classifier, like a typing, but it feels like it fits the kind of world more, you know? What if we called it bonding experience when we get bonsters on our teams? It could just literally be called developing bonds. I really want to call, like, if you know, it's like Potempo peers. I really like the double P, you know? It's a little extra. Like, you could say my buddy Pokemon, your Potempo peers. There's a lot of excess stuff that I'll be cutting and figuring out, but I'm not too worried. But yeah, that's a slight update. These are probably going to be called the domains. Domain expansion. Potempo. Potempedia is awesome. I think Potempedia is kind of a lot. There is a PP there, like the alliteration. Domains fits extremely better. Good. Potempo. Your Potem pals. I want to get away from pals, because fuck Pal World. And you guys know my thoughts on Pal World. But yeah, I'm Potem peers, or PP. I don't want to say PP for short. Hey, yo. But gang, genuinely, it sounds like you guys really like Potempo. Let me see, you know, celebration emojis in chat if you guys like it. It makes my heart heavier and happier if you guys like it. To me, again, it just straight up fits. The notion. Oh, so let me continue the name. So with Potempo, it's the potent power that's living inside, aka your potential of your peers, right? Of your Potempo. And specific, each evolution is moving at the tempo of the bond that you build together. So I might even call evolution something like tempo shifts, you know? Is that extra? Maybe. But it kind of lets it be its own thing. Because if you want to go, and we could do like the intro to any middle school essay, tempo meaning, right? Webster's dictionary defines tempo as the speed at which a passage of music is or should be played, aka the rate or speed of motion or activity. When I heard that, I was like, I like that, the speed of motion. And it's like you're developing your bond together, right? That tempo that picks up, your heartbeats in tempo. I like that allegory and visual of like you guys bonding together. You know, Pokemon has that for sure, but I want to take it all the way. I want to do that kind of stuff that Digimon does. I's your Potempow, buddy. Piers feel weird. Looks like I'm in school, unless we are in school. Potempo, let's go. Yeah, my Potempets. Yeah, call it whatever you want. You know, I don't know yet. Piers, the reason why I went with Piers for initial thought is because I want them to be our equals. We can call our academic, if we're professors, we call them peers, right? But again, nothing is, you know. I'm not choosing Potempo or Encyclopedia based on chat. I'll be figuring it out on my own. I'm not trying to get sued by you guys or anything. I'm not inspired by those names. So, Potempo name Sorcerer King. Special move Malevolent Shrine. What is all this, kid? That's not how it's going to work. I got to figure out how names will work, though. I might keep it like in a Pokemon kind of name where I just kind of fuse name concepts together. I wouldn't be opposed to doing things like that where it's maybe like a more traditional kind of name. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, like Digimon, they all end in Mon, for example, right? And then Pokemon has puns. I think Cassette Beasts have puns, things like that. Me and my Pomies. Alliteration is cool, always cool. So is the leveling up system based on your bond with the Potempo? Absolutely, because you're going to have your own player level as well. And I think your level sets the tempo at which speed they evolve. And there's going to be a lot of cool stuff with it. And again, because it's going to be like Digimon style evolutions, like tempos and beat changes, it's going to kind of like imbue that vibe of how like evolution works. It's kind of like more of like this background kind of thing, you know. With Pokemon, it feels a bit ephemeral. So yeah, Potempo, the fact that it even sounds like tribal and ancient, kind of really, I think above all, why I love this name. The sync with the trainer, out of rhythm but slowly shift, stuff like that, right? I think that Potempo, it just feels like a word for a monster tamer. You know, you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, Potempo. You know what I mean? I don't know how or why, but like, it's part of all the kind of things I put into this name. Totem, potential, tempo. So, all right, now that we've got that out of the way, Potempo is here. It sounds like you guys really love the name, which is much appreciated. I've been like shitting bricks. Let's start designing. Don't let Sukuna, no, we won't let him anywhere close to here or his nasty fingers. Maybe each Potempo have their own background theme. That would be a lot of work. As cool as that would be, that's just more work. I'm just an artist and I'll be focusing on the art for now. 6, Potempo's evolving faster based on your levels. Yeah, it makes sense, right? And you know, it's not like that's unheard of. But I just like the idea that like you're unlocking their rhythm, right, through your friendship. Peak tempo. Also, Potempo would definitely have a wild opening. Oh, it's gonna have a wild opening, baby. 2025. Nah, I don't know when it's coming out, if it's ever coming out. I'm developing this as a concept first and foremost. So let's get started on our first ever Potempo art stream. Give it up, chat, for the first Bonster Psych Potempo. Potempo sounds Indian, and I mean from India. Yeah, I mean, I'm Indian, so the fact that it's pretty freaking cool to me. It just feels, and I'm not trying to say this in a negative way, but like tribal or ancient. There's something very beautiful about the way the Potempo, like there's a nice rhythm to the name, just like tempo in itself, right? Just finished my submission. That's way too fast. But congrats. EXP share, but with the partner. Yeah, something like that, right? So my first, I keep potentially saying Bonster. I'm gonna also have to figure out a logo, and I think that's going to happen down the line when I figure out the look feel of many monsters, right? Brody Jones ate one of the fingers. We're done for. No monster, yes, but tempo. Hell yeah, hell yeah. So you guys know me. I'm a dog person through and through. Part of me wants to make your first partner Patempo a puppy, and it's gonna have like a. The way I'm trying to do it now is combine the best of both worlds. I don't think I'm doing 3 different starters. However, I'm going to have one partner. It's going to have 3 evolutions. So basically how you raise it, if it's down order, chaos, or fair, which is in the middle. I think that's the way I kind of want to do my starters. I just got in, spill the beans. It's out there. It's Patempo. Deebs, the Patempo is on the way. Bonster, I hardly know her. Congratulations on kicking off. Thank you, Rosa, for hanging out. Have a good one, okay? What if one of the domains was Xeno? Then Zach Xeno would be very excited. But it wouldn't really fit. I have all my domains set up for right now. Monsters are no more. You're Partempo. It might not even be guaranteed to get picked up. It might stay in the concept phase, which is fine and dandy. It's not fine and dandy, but it is, right? I'm not even trying to think about that. I'm thinking about the moment, right? Being zen and building up this concept. It's Dragon Ball Super. Maybe there should be also a cat starter for the cat people. Hell no! Hell no! No, I'm just kidding. I have an idea of what I'm going to do for how it's going to be. But above all, again, where I can make things mine, that's what I really want to do. And not doing a starter setup is the way I can do that. So I'll figure that out later. I'm going to be working on today's Patempo, the first ever Patempo I've done on screen. I want to do it based on Inuit folklore. If you guys have seen one of my most recent collabs over at True Green 7's channel, Virgo made something similar to this without knowing what it is. In specific, I'll read this to you. In 1900, the American naturalist Edward William Nelson described the Kakwanugat Gikulunik among a number of other mythical and composite animals. It is described as being similar in form to the killer whale, the orca, right? And is one of my most favorite animals, an apex predator of the sea, and is credited with the power of changing at will to the wolf. After roaming about over the land, it may return to the sea and again become a whale. While in the wolf form, it is known by the above name, and the Eskimos say they know that this change takes place as they have seen wolf tracks leading to the edge of the sea ice and ending at the water, or beginning at the edge of the water and leading to the shore. These animals are said to be very fierce and to kill men. Nelson attributed stories of the creature to the orca, Aklut, and explained wolf tracks appearing to lead to the sea as a result of ice breaking away from the edge. He identifies the composite animals among Inuit folklore, including a white whale that can transform into a reindeer. So this might be a really cool concept. It could be a secondary creature, or maybe we even give reindeer antlers. Here's the thing, gang. I don't plan on making... Another thing with monsters, right? I don't plan on making... one-to-one translations a lot. I might do that here and there. I said here and there. For example, if I were to make an owl bear, then damn straight it's just gonna be a cool ass owl bear, you know. So sue me. And pretty much something like this. Already the Aklut is very unique. I want to see how I can push the design. I want to take inspiration from these things. I don't want someone to look at this design and be like, that's not the Aklut according to the... It's not going to be. It's inspired by it, right? So he identifies other composite animals among Inuit folklore, including a white whale that can transform into a reindeer, and says that the belief in the Kakwanugat-Kikulunik is prevalent among Inuit along the shore of the Bering Sea. More recent collections of myths and folklore have been used the term Nelson gives to the orca, Aklut, to describe the composite animals. So there you go. That's going to be our very first one. So it's going to be very, very exciting. because I just love all this. What if David Boy was a Patempo? He kind of already is. If you guys were in a stream a long time ago, I kind of put that into the vibe of our potential Rotom-like entity who acts as our fairy godmother. This little fucker right here is very David Boy coded. We'll see how much this design changes. It's a little dragon boy. So here's Zombie. It's Plundrake coming back from the dead. Although that's not his name. It might be something else. We doing folklore creatures already peak? Hell yeah. Monster is just a term we use for so long that it fits. You come up with something better, just doesn't feel right to call it anything else. Disagree with that, but I understand where you're coming from. Wolf Orkla, the Aklet. What about women that turned her fingers into seals? Not sure about that. What if we don't have a choice, but we have like one monster that shifts into the form that most fits our attributes? That's kind of what I'm trying to do potentially with the starter direction. Warka. Need some Inuit folk art for reference. I might not use those as direct references. I'm just going to go off vibes and build, right? So they're sapient. They're going to be, I think the way I'm going to design many of these creatures is that they're maybe to this, like they're definitely smarter than elephants. All the Patempo. In the animals, like I said, I'm going to have cows and bovines and antlered, what am I saying? Elk and moose. Chickens. Those animals will just be run-of-the-mill regular animals. But Tempo are a range of beasts that are far stronger, more dangerous, right? Some may even hunt humans. But yeah, I'm gonna start designing. I don't know what Patempo are supposed to look like. I've been drawing Fakemon for a long time. So what I'm going to do is I have pulled up some reference for me of orcas, things like that. I'll say this. I want to make this one of, if we're going into the domains that I've set up, this is going to be, in terms of Pokemon, it'll be like a dragon type. Is it a dragon? No, it is not a dragon type. It is an exotic domain creature. So what that simply means is that it's on the level of dragons and fairy spirits and more powerful beings of the Patempo world. It just makes sense for an apex predator, right? And something as cool as the freaking wolf and an orca hybrid. Are you kidding? And there's going to be tons of cool ways to do this, right? Is it going to be fully aquatic? Is it going to be semi-aquatic? Is it going to have fur, maybe hydrophobic fur? So yeah, this one will be the exotic domain. We're starting off with legendary, or I'll say he's like pseudo legendary. Legendary would be in the mythic domain. Sedna, that's the seal finger lady. Gotcha. Okay. Public domain Patempo in 100 years. So yeah, I guess for the sake of chat, I will quickly mark, and you know what I think I'm going to do, gang? I'm going to work backwards for this one. So it's going to be mythic domain. I think this guy will be, alignment will probably lean towards order because he's more powerful. He just seems like the wolf just seems really seen as like this noble kind of creature. The orca is just an apex predator. It doesn't feel like a chaotic entity, so it'll be order. And I think I will probably make him an all-rounder, so he'll just have a look feel that's pretty balanced, instead of being, say, a bruiser, a tank, or a support. And I'll say Aklut, so you guys know. Aklut, wolf, and orca. Are you guys excited? Holy shit, I'm actually doing monster art on the stream. It's called Patempo, you guys. It's not monsters. Jurassic Park theme plays in the background as the Patempo is right behind us. Is Patempo in the room with us? Also, I don't think we established what the exotic domain is. The exotic domain, to go back, I think we did. I'll double back just to double check with everyone just to get everyone up to speed. So the mythic domain are your legendaries. These would be your Lunala, your Solgaleo, your Necrozma, your Lugias and Ho-Ohs. These are the gods of the world that affect, you know, the day-to-day, you know? It's not like Pokemon owns things like a god of the ocean like Lugia, right? I want to do stuff like that for my game as well. It's not like there's a god of feelings like, you know, the Mexi and Uspirit and all those kind of Lake Trio guys. That's my mythic class, the highest class. There'll be very few of them in any game. Exotic is the top of the food chain for all the mortal domains. Okay? So exotic will be your dragons, fairies, folklore kind of entities, higher level folklores. Gothic domain is going to be dark, psychic, undead / necrozma, so you can fit like certain poison ideologies in there as well. Runic is all your elemental types, okay? Fire, water, thunder, ice, wind instead of flying, nature instead of grass type. Control of those elements, those those Potempo are probably the most blessed underneath exotic, alongside, I would say, Gothic. On the right is potentially stoic, but at the moment typic, which is the Potempos that don't rely on elemental powers but their own prowess, right? Fighting types, bug types, normal types. Cryptic will be Potempos that can't really be explained. Those that are built by man, those that are built by other Potempos, maybe the mythic Potempos that blessed inanimate objects. Certain kinds of lesser spirits and lesser cryptids. Like if I ever did a Yeti monster, it would be cryptic. Lithic is your rock, steel, and ground Pokemon, you know, for that connection. And then toxic isn't a confirmed one. It's a potential one that lives in its outside domain. I don't know if I'm going to include it. I probably will not. I feel extremely pleased that I have a solid 6, and it already creates a beautiful pentagon with chaos on the left, moving to fair in the middle, and the right side being representing mostly order. So it works out beautifully. Exotic lives just above, representing high order and living in between chaos and order. So it represents fairness, I should say. And then Mythic are in their own class. They probably don't have any sort of alignment. Their alignment is to the natural order of the world. So there could be evil Mythics, right? But it's their perspective. Yeah. We need a Monsters jar, right? I would love that. So let's see. Can we see the human character designs? Okay, we'll do the human character designs before I do the Aklut, because it has been a while. In fact, I'll just show you guys my gigantic Potempo. Guys, check this out. Bonsters no more. Holy shit, this feels so fucking good. Potempo. What a day. So that was like some early sketch art. I have a lot of potential old designs that I'm restructuring to be my legendaries, potential designs. Here we had the main character. I was testing out what I want the main character's vehicle to be. I think for the sake of making it easy for animation, if it ever became a game, it would be a hover bike, so there would be no clipping with tires and stuff, and then I could do all range mode, right? Flying over water, maybe scaling cliffs, for example. And then here was the map that I designed on stream, which I can't wait to redesign this. But yeah, I'll show you guys the character designs that I had. I'm excited, you guys. It feels real. like when I was working on Monsters, it was like always ideations and concepts and what could be. Working on Potempo feels legitimately real. Here we go. So here are the characters as they were. So here's our like scholar character who will teach us about the world. Here's a mysterious character in ancient, what seems like an astronaut helmet. What's going on with him, gang? Here were the more color passes, but these need to be readjusted, and that's what these lines are. Are humans closer to animals or Potempo? I would say humans might be right in the middle ground. Although, you know what? That might not be true. I would say humans could be in their own domain. I think that would be cooler. You know? Bontempo, orcas and dogs are all about social structure. Yeah, order feels correct. That's true too. Orcas will yeet seals in the sky to hunt or for fun. That is true, and I think that's them exercising their apex predator-like thing. But like, look, they're not just, I mean, sure, it's fun, but their meal will die. That's it. They get to eat it. I could say it's either or chaos or order. Order, since wolves come in hunting packs. For chaos, it could feel like more wild lone wolf. The reason why I want to go order is because as a pseudo legendary, I think it just feels like something that commands dignity and respect, right? Even Nexamon as a deity, Nexamon, exactly. Gothic is Slytherin. That's funny. Cryptic sounds like it'll be my favorite. We shall see. Could a Potempo belong to more than one category? Absolutely. I'm thinking of just two at most. Do you mean monolithic? No, I mean just straight up lithic. Typical Stoic gang. What is that font? The Potempo font that I used? I'll have to look it up later. Actually part of my Google vocab. Let's go. Don't forget that orangutans are closer to humans and gorillas in terms of DNAs. There you go. I don't want to make it like Potempo are these amazing creatures and then they're like bested by humans. As a human myself, I'm allowed to say I think humans are trash. Potempo gang all day. So that's why I don't want them to feel like they're subservient. There might still be a very spiritual aspect to it that you're borrowing their power at most, right? It's not that you're ever taming them. You are earning their bond is the best way I can put it. Okay, no more. I don't want to do no more showing you guys other arts and all this kind of stuff. I just want to draw a cool ass animal. Are you guys ready? Leave a like in chat if you're ready. And guys, be sure to share and stuff. I don't know. I want this to become something, right? Like I've been working on Fakemon for a while. You guys know how important this is to me. So sharing and all that stuff is going to be like some of the best ways you can support me. It's going to be a 3-stage line. I may still do, I don't know if I want to do, let him cook. What if humans are Potempo that lost their ability to use domains? It could be something like that. I do like that. Honestly, if the T-Rex dinosaur Potempo is part exotic, it might be. We'll see. Rykar's name could be a good Potempo. A like. I don't want to see just thumbs or likes in chat. I want to see it click on a video. Okay, no more off topic, but I do want to hear your thoughts on this. My current idea, again, part of the name is a totem pole, so I'll illustrate it quickly. The way I see it is like this. As of right now, I might do so that the first form will always be this cute, silly little thing. Then it evolves into the first form, right? So let's say baby, kind of like Digimon. First, baby first, second, and then again, from the perspective of a totem pole. In fact, I'll just put it in the middle. And this will explain boost evolution very well, I believe. I'll put it right here. The top of the totem pole for each Potempo that has, and not all of them will have boost evos, obviously. I feel like if you're pseudo legendary, you're practically guaranteed one. I don't know if I want to do 3 lines because it feels kind of pointless to do 1, 2, and then boost, because I don't have permanent evos, I don't think. That's why I'm thinking maybe everyone will have like a very cute like spirit kind of form, and that allows me to just kind of like cheese my way into having like a simple baby form, and that just adds to like the dex count. Plus it just makes the boost feel like a lot more impactful. So the boost will always be the top of the totem pole, and again, as I was saying earlier, parts of these make the greater whole, right? Maybe a bit of a Russian nesting doll. That's kind of like the vibe of like the evolution. It'll still feel different yet connected. But anyway, yeah, they're basically like chibi spirits in their baby form. If you've ever seen Shaman King, so you know what? Let's start with a potential one for the Aklut. Maybe it'll be something like this, where it could be like these giant eyes, right? And maybe its fin is like the fiery spirit, right? And this could be like form 1. And you know what? If I did that way, then it kind of makes sense with how you find them as spirits in the world, and that they're these higher form of creatures. And it could genuinely be as simple as a design like this. This already looks freaking cute as hell. You know? Why do I already love this thing? And it could just be this wispy kind of like spirit. Obviously, is any of this confirmed? No, I'm developing live on stream. And maybe it's just flittering around, waiting to be befriended. What I should say then is, in the wild, you can never find a boost evo. At most, you can find the second evo. And maybe when you engage in them, then they activate their primordial power, you know? And maybe from there, you fight it, and when you catch it, or tame it, or whatever the word is going to be, it, you know, I guess it could, what's the word? Like reset, because it's got a new bond now. And, you know, it's trying to match your tempo. And the development, it kind of looks a little sussy. I'm not going to say anything further. Maybe they're 4 or 5 lines? No, that's way too much work for me. I'm one artist. Yeah, like Lil Will-O-Wisp, exactly. Because the idea is that, you know, you catch these guys in lanterns. So it kind of makes sense that when you catch them, again, tame them, whatever it is, you would, you know, find them in their spirit-like forms. So this would allow me to make all first forms have a vibe that's all very similar to one another. You know? And maybe they kind of give you a hint as to what's to come. You know? Ooh, you know what? Maybe its eyebrow could just be what makes it the orca part. That kind of makes it a little bit of a mindfuck. You know? Again, it looks a little sussy. I'm not going to say any further what I'm referring to. I mean, already that's pretty damn cute. Wispy fish indeed. Maybe 4 or 5 lines. Totem body grows. No. So I only use the totem as a point of reference of how evolution works. They won't all be stacked like totems. The patotem. There will be one that's like a totem. Can we customize our protagonist? I would like that. But again, I don't want to make promises for something that's not even real yet, you know? So ideally, yeah, you know, it would probably be very basic. You know, I'm not Game Freak. So maybe there's like this kind of like element to it where it's like tangible in the front, you know, until it's not. Tempo sealed, XP gathered. Ooh, I like something like that. Maybe the word for catching is attuning. Ooh, I love that, Lorik. I love that so much. Attuning. That's wonderful. Are there going to be capsules like Pokeballs? Yes, there's lanterns. I've gone over them in the past. I'm not going to go over them today because I want to stay on focus. But yeah, there are going to be these kind of lanterns that hold their spirits. Because as of right now, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not sure if they're things that we necessarily interact with in the world, you know? Oh god, I know what you're talking about. You're nasty, Justin. There's a potential musical aspect that could be used there with the name Potempo. Yeah, and that's why I like attuning, which is also very, again, you guys know how much D&D is inspiring as far as classes and fantasy elements, and even like with a lot of the stats. And in D&D, when you want to attune to certain items, you know, it's something that's practiced, and I think attuning and even tune fits really well. So let's say potentially this is like form 1, right? And we could call it, we could always say the first form is always the spirit form. Now, it might be, who knows, maybe every spirit form is even more simpler than this, right? For all we know. But I kind of want to design the final form first and kind of go backwards. Potempo successfully attuned. XP gathered, XP gained, or yeah, it would have to be XP, right? All right, the Aklut, loosely. I'm wondering if, so it could be a fun thing actually. Just to, again, I guess I'll quickly illustrate. Like, so you'd see like this first guy, and then he would evolve into like a husky, because when we think of like wolves by the ice, I'm thinking like a husky or a wolf like that, you know? So then I would like probably design a cute like husky, and people are like, what the hell? Why did that thing evolve into a husky? But again, it's not Pokemon, right? It's Potempo. And in Potempo, these creatures evolve at their own speed, their own tempo, in their own ways. It's not going to be this gradual thing. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some Pokemon that I look at where I'm like, oh, why does it evolve like that? And that was, you know, before I was like really an artist. Meaning not, I've been always an artist, but meaning like, I'd be like, maybe it's like a tuft of fur could pop up like a little fin, you know, like an Indohyus. But then, yeah, this is my way of saying this is what Potempo look like. They go on their own journey. Well, Pokemon, it's very straightforward. I love when I look at, say, again, Remoraid into Octillery, you know? Maybe like its eye is like in the space like this. And I also don't mind if my designs are, oh, it's the Pokemon but bigger. You know, like people hate that for Pokemon. I think it's fine because here I'm evolving, since it's evolving through various different states, as long as there's still a semblance of like connection, like maybe over here, right? Maybe you could even have gills or something, you know? Maybe it's like a fur pattern, but one of the fur kind of drops down, right? It's like a little puppy dude. And he'll probably look a little... And it'll probably do something like... The coloration could still be similar. So that way... There's, again, that visual connection. This guy is so on my team, by the way, gang. I gotta figure out the exact look feel. Because the way I illustrate now is like, you know, how I do a lot of my character design, very flat colors and strong blacks to, you know, denote shading in areas where there's shadow. But orcas are mammals, they don't have gills. These are not orcas though. This is a patempo. Evolving in their own pace, the patempo pace, exactly. There's the thing, they do have their own language, or do they have... I've been wrestling with this. Part of me wants to... Part of me wants them to talk. Or at the very least, I'll make it so that like maybe exotic and above can talk. Or maybe like boost Evomons could talk, maybe, right? There's still a lot to figure out. And I appreciate the questions because it'll like help me think about it. I have been wondering, like with Digimon, we don't bat an eye when they chat. But if like Sprigatito started talking, I'd be like kind of creeped out, right? Because context matters. All right, obviously I don't love this design, but I'm just, again, figuring things out. Still pretty cute. It's animal noises, but there's subtitles. Happy squeaking noises. Could you imagine? Oh, this guy is kind of cute. So something that I don't want to do is something like what's the word? When I'm looking at how I'm going to do the designs, do I consider the fact that they talk, right? If they were to talk, that would also change how I design them. Because if they're more sapient, they might appeal more anthro, or like, I can't necessarily see this guy opening his mouth and talking, you know what I mean? I kind of want him to have like strong front. Yeah, I mean, obviously right now it's looking very jank, but I'm not considering like proportions and such. It's pretty dang cute though. They could talk telepathically, maybe. I wonder how that would work. Like, I'm trying to think, like, it could make sense that, yeah, if you hit the highest level of friendship, you're able to, like, read each other. You're so attuned, you know? Perhaps the most advanced Potempos. Yeah, I think it'll probably be a case-to-case kind of thing. Like, mythic or above, maybe. Or at the very least, all gods can talk. Like any, well, I mean, sorry, not mythic and above. Mythic is the highest. So maybe like exotic, potentially. Let's have his like back hair come up almost like a fin. like I was saying earlier, I don't necessarily care about whether or not, you know, there's like a secondary through line. Like, it doesn't have to be, oh, it's a wolf orca and also a clown, you know? Like, I'm not going for that angle. So let's have it come down this way. I think the eye needs to go up a little bit, but obviously first pass and all. That's why he looks kind of derpy. Oh, there we go. He's a serious little guy. I think you guys can see why I want him to be he's so funny looking. He definitely needs a rework as far as proportion. Like, but you can see he's just like serious guy. He takes his role seriously. I wonder if I should bring back... Ooh. Alright, not bad for a first pass. Okay. Let's see. I mean, we have Meowth, that's true. This is off topic. I made 4 baby Pokemon. Okay, nice. Submit just a 1 whenever it's ready. No rush. We hear bark, we see sentences. I mean, they could talk telepathically, yeah. Perhaps more advanced. Potempo manga, there's another idea. There's plenty of things I want to do with it. Plushies, toys. No, most media where creatures can talk, it doesn't matter the shape of the mouth. Yeah, it's not the shape of the mouth what I was referring to, but rather if they look sapient enough without feeling like it's weird. Don't forget to flip. Hell yeah. Hello, Spencer. Welcome in. The name is going to be Potempo. I went through a whole thing, so if you want to go back and just kind of see while I was yapping why I chose it. It's Potempo. Yeah, so maybe it'll do something like that, where every single one will have like a spirit form that lives in the lantern, so to speak. And when you put them into battle, they'll always start off as a spirit form, and then you can like burst evolve them or boost evolve them potentially to their final form or something. You know, down the line, I think that's something you unlock, maybe like the last thing, so as to show proof of your bond, you know? Okay. I like this guy. I think he looks pretty cute. Let's go ahead and just do a quick flip. These will receive obviously very heavy adjustments. These are so super early. I'm trying to find the look feel for these creatures, right? More or less down the line. Ooh, he looks so cute. But he does look funky, but he's not a wolf. He's not an orca. Monsters the Potempo is Pokemon Monsters. Is the Pokemon? Kinda, not really. Yeah. Love it. Good to hear. I love it too. I'm genuinely in love with the name. I think that Potempo, with everything that I put in it and its meaning and it just looks delicious. It sounds fun to say. There's just a lot of cool things. Ooh, I like something like that too. That might be the play instead of like just the black. But okay, so let's do... He definitely needs to have a boost evolved. Yeah, Ash Pikachu talked once and then everyone in the theater went crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna work on the final form, and then I want it to have a boost form. Well, we'll see if it needs one. Again, as I continue to develop my decks, which again, we need a name. Instead of compendium, Compentopitopier Potempo. I'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. It'll come to me when it comes to me. That's the important thing. As long as it took for me to find this name, you know, whatever I get, I get. Yes, Rykard, there will be. I definitely want to incorporate shinies. They may be still called shinies. If I can find a cooler name for it, I'll do it. Shiny isn't super accurate to what it is. It's like a variation. That's why people say shiny variant. The Potempium. No, that sounds like a drug. Potempium. Oh, you guys are so close. Potempium. No, that sounds like copium. All right, let's work on, and I'm going to go crazy for this last one. So one thing I will say with things like the Bonsters or the Potempos of the world, again, I don't mind if it's just bigger versions of a lot of the designs, but I don't like a lot of the Mega Evolutions. I like Mega Evolutions like Mega Sableye. Can you make a suggestion? Of course you can. Thank you for even asking that. I would say that Mega Sableye is a fantastic Mega Evolution. It doesn't change too much of the original. It does shift a few things of the body, but they amplified the gem element. Potempedia. Potempedia. Potemlisman instead of talisman. I think at the end of the day, what I really want to do for Mega, my take on Mega is to boost Tempura, or Temperpedic. Like I said, when the name gets to me, it'll get to me. It may not, who knows, maybe I'll have something to do with, you know, Potempo, or it might be, again, something like Almanac, right? An almanac with all knowledge in it, or the Beast Tome, right? We'll see. Make it kind of look like the Pacacetus. Yeah, like the Indahias and all that kind of stuff, right? We'll see. I don't know if I want to do that. I want to, again, as I was saying, so look, I like Mega Aggron. He looks cool, but it's not like they really take the design to a new level. It's just cool, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want to see if I could do something cool with my version of these guys, right? So I'm gonna probably make it more like an orca face for the final one. I've got like reference here. Maybe it'll have like massive teeth. Actually, you know what? Let's do. I'm looking at my reference here. This thing is gonna look so sick, you guys. Again, I'm gonna eventually redesign every single one after I do like the pass I need. I kind of want it to be very front heavy, almost like my do I want it to have like claws while it's, I mean, I guess it would need to have I kind of want it to be like my wild mutt, right? My Wildemaw. It's got big fans, almost like an orc. Ah, very nice. Potempora shrimp. That's what I was thinking too. The Potemtome. Holy fuck. That might have to be it. Potemtome. That's funny and cute. Off-key Potempo? Oh my god, that's fun as hell too. Off-key. That's so funny. Post-mortempo. Wow, that's fun too. Off-key for the shiny is very fun. Potemtome. Potato. I don't like Mega Evolution because it hurts the Pokemon. Me too, which is why my version of Boost does not. Also, I don't buy that it just feels like a betrayal to what Game Freak built upon. Like, Pokemon is your friends, but you want to give your friends pay to evolve into something stronger. I don't buy that it just feels like a betrayal. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do the body shape. I don't want it to be super... You know what? So he's going to have... You know what? Let's give it like a wide maw. Ooh, you know what? Maybe in the final one, like it could be a glacier undermouth. Oh shit, that could be really cool. A glacier for the lower half. Kind of like an Avalugg thing with a mega chin. And it kind of looks like Venom with the eyes like this. I'll put its eyes up in the front like that. Holy shit, this guy looks sick. Is he gonna have ears? I don't think so. I'm gonna make him more like an orca. In the face especially. I mean, Pinsir is loving it. Justice for Mega Evolution. Like I said, you can leave that Mega Evolution behind, okay? We've got boost evos for our Potempos. And we don't hurt our Potempos. We get into our rhythm and evolve together. They evolve off of the human character's mana. You know, their life force. So this could be maybe the boost evo version, maybe. And maybe the final, you know what, that's what I'll do. The final one will be like an adult husky, and the boost evo is straight up a orca fucking wolf. Oh, holy shit. Guys, if this doesn't sell you on Potempo, I don't know what would, honestly. And you know what? Bro's gotta have like a Thrasher Shark tail fin or something. Ooh, and this could be ice. The under half. No justice for Mega Evolution. Bye, Mega Evolution. Hello, Boost Evo, or whatever I end up calling it. Holy shit, this guy looks sick. I'm so sold. Hell yeah. Chat, I need you guys to show up every day on stream. I need you guys to like. I need you guys to comment on VODs. You know, I'm going to work on this, but I need your support, right? I can't do this by myself. I'm trying to think how I would want to do it. That looks off to me. Mega Garchomp style fin. Oh, wait a second. Maybe it could be more... There's no rules. I can do it. It could be more like a sail. Something like that, right? Aye, Captain. Aye, Captain. I'll defend Megas until I die. Not a worry. You can do that. Aqua Boost Evil looks so badass. Thank you. Thank you. I think I know what you mean. You don't like making Pokemon feel more pain than they already feel while battling. I just ignore that part. Does that mean that every time we boost Evo, the Potempo is killing us from the inside out? No. Because it's a joint effort. You guys are both putting your energies together to achieve a new form through your bond. Like bond and all that stuff is going to be very important to me. It's like Steelix face. It's going to be so sick. I want him, you know what? I want this front half to feel like really strong. It's got like Garchomp vibes meets Kyurem meets Rayquaza. Holy shit, dudes. This looks so sick. Feels more sharky than Orca with the Garchomp fin. That's okay. It's not like a true Ocklet, right? Like I'm using the Ocklet as inspo, but I'm not making an Ocklet Pokemon. I'm making like a boost evo of a concept of a sharky, wolfy, Orca-like kind of thing, you know? I'm just digging this so much. Man, imagine what the second pass will look like, right? If it's already looking strong. Let's put some colors on this and see how it looks. So again, the third form will look like, you see how it goes from Orca Spirit to Puppy to eventually a Husky adult to when it's boosted, explodes with energy. and it becomes a freaking shark wolf, orca, dog, tiger monster, right? Line so cool, wanted to be on my team immediately. Hell yeah. Feels more, yep. Also like some of the mega evos. Me too. I like the mega evos. They're cool. Obviously the dex is one thing. I'm always going to be curious why they decided to go that route. It's just not in line with Pokemon's values, but it is what it is. I kind of feel like they'll address that in, you know what? We'll probably have to extend the tail out a little this way. Guys, this is on my team. If I become a Potempo, I don't know if I'm going to call them trainers. If I become like a Potempo, I'd probably be a scholar in the universe or a researcher. This guy is my freaking ace. All right? So don't mess with me. Don't mess with me in my, I don't know what the name is going to be. Oh, you know what? Let's make it more like a crystal blue, actually. Yeah, something like that. We'll have like nice blue reflections. We'll have... So you guys see how I'm doing my take on Mega? Where it's like the totem pole is being built. There's like elements of it that's being built, even if it's different things. But Tempo Shaman. Kind of like that. Something like Shaman could work. Like maybe like Potempromancer or something crazy, you know what I mean? I don't know what exactly, but... So once you reach max bond with this Potempo, then you're able to unlock this power. And he's going to definitely have this kind of like texture. Let's do... I don't know if I need that line there. Might be doing a lot. I do know I want to do maybe like white down here. Like almost like a tiger or something. And then I could stand to add some white here maybe. Holy shit, this guy's so fucking lit. I gotta make this sucker yellow, this eye. Oh crap, that looks like Kyurem. Let me look at Kyurem real quick. I'm not looking at a Kyurem reference, I swear to God. This is how designs exist in your head. Oh, I see, yeah, because it's... Yeah. Okay, so let's make it not look like Kyurem. Which I don't even like Kyurem's design, but I can see, yeah, okay. Why it seems familiar. I could lean it out even more. And it is something that goes along the entire underbody. Yeah, I think extending out the chin. I love a big chin, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It'll kind of move it away from Kyurem. It's also giving me Steelix vibes too. I like this tooth part coming up, but it's clashing against the white. Potempo Acolyte? No, Acolyte seems like a down thing. This Potempo looks like he's about to steal my tuna fish sandwich. Give it back. Garchomp meets Lycanroc, but with Orca elements. Um, like we're taking half our soul, and the Patempo's taking half of our soul, and swapsies. That's what swapsies, but combines them together. Sherpa. I like Sherpa. Shepherd is good too. Warka is my name for the name. I think Temple Bonder. Ooh, Bonder. How about Patempo? If there was something with a P, I would love that for the alliteration. Okay, the mouth might feel a little too strong now. Let's figure this out. Potential partner. Partner's not the worst, but I feel like it's the expected name, right? So I want to see if we can get something more than partner. Sorry, let me know whenever I'm not on screen. I feel like I do need contrast in the back half, but I mean, this thing looks pretty damn awesome. I feel like I could also do something with the... And you know what I'll also figure out, gang? Maybe there's like a thing with all boosted Patempo, where maybe they have like a visual component that's very similar between all the boosted ones, just to show that they're like, for example, maybe there's the symbol of boost on their body somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I really like the patterns, say, on Groudon and Kyogre. What if I gave patterns to all the boosted creatures so you know that's their boosted form? I think that's important to like just let, even if they look different between the varying species of Patempo, you know, if there's like an outlier, maybe it's like, for example, like a certain color of eyes, like, you know, like Super Saiyans all go blonde with blue eyes, right? We know that that's a Super Saiyan regardless of who transformed, right? So maybe there's something in this transformation. Maybe it's the use of crystals, like maybe in this case, like it's ice, right? Obviously that's more like me referencing the habitat they live in. I really like this tooth, but again, it doesn't... Shit, it's like fucking Venom. Sick. Maybe on the... Yeah, it could be the forehead for sure. It could be a forehead thing too. Maybe it's like a crystal or... Oh, you know what it could be, gang? If the lantern and the spirit is the kind of connecting tissue, like it starts as a spirit and it hits the final form, it could be something as simple as like, you know, some sort of fiery energy representing like union or harmony between the Patempo partner and the Patempo. I'll do something like that for now. I don't think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe it's their eyes glowing. Maybe they all glow in from their eyes, like their fiery spirit. That might actually look really sick. They look like horns or antennae, and they're like glowing. As long as they're glowing and they have like a trail, maybe that's it. You know? Lantern in their head, that might be too busy. Awesome idea for it. What do you guys like, the eyes or the fiery orb? The fiery orb might be easier. Maybe your lantern gets better depending on how close it gets to its final form. Thing is, the lantern's more like your PC for it, so it's not. I would say like maybe down the line your lantern, like you can customize it and adjust and stuff. What if your Potempo doesn't have eyes? That's a good point. So maybe it's something like what is it? Dynamax. Dynamax has got those spinning clouds. So I'm definitely going to stretch my hands. You need True Green 7 to look over this design and figure out what you're missing. I'll probably show it to some people for sure. These are just first things. I trust my design judgment, but never a bad thing to ask the homies to look over a design or two. Never bad. I'll make it more aerodynamic and more like fin and stuff maybe. There's a lot of cool things I could do with this design for sure. This is just the very first pass. It's gonna be a long journey designing a lot of these guys. Fiery Orb, Potempotology. That's hard to say. Fiery Orb, having Wisp would be a component that links to boost evos. Yeah, it might have to be. An orb could be a separate thing. I do love. Potempology? I don't know what potempology is. My lantern is a dragon or dinosaur aesthetic. I wish. It'll I'll have like basic ones, like not basic in a bad way, but like one might be medieval, one might look gothic, one could look like rusted. Like I think there will have to be some level of consistency, and maybe special evil characters like have like crazy unique ones. Think about it, right? When we're watching Pokemon battles, and not that it needs to be like Pokemon battles, but what does the default look like, right? For example. I like the icy maw thing. Maybe it could have like a shape underneath like that. This could look crazy too. It's a little streamlined. But again, there's a lot of things I can do to figure out the designs, because I don't mind if someone says to me like, oh, these look like Pokemon. No problem. I'm inspired by Pokemon. Ooh, I don't hate that. I actually don't hate that. It's a pretty striking shape. I mean, obviously I'll do multiple passes, so don't worry if you don't like it, but it's like calling Tranos Potempo Pi. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I'm worried that a name like that, as short as it is, if it's not readily known by people, it'll, cause like problems as far as. That's why Potempo was important, to get a word that was fun and easy to read and say. Look dramatic or brutal in Horizon. I've heard very good things about Horizon. My critique so far is just the midsection looks too thin. Yeah, for sure. We'll have to. I could potentially see myself elongating. If you guys remember my Dex Neo stuff, ideation, you know? Part of me wants to do something like it should feel like strong in the front and then get sleek in the back. Something like that. And then that way there's like contrast between the midsection or like the under half with the backlight feeling really strong, something like that. Always leave your critiques, you know, don't worry. But just remember that it's still very much early. So if something looks out of place, you know, I'm still trying to figure it out. But always appreciate the critiques. I want to see how I'm going to do. I wonder how cartoony I'll get, things like that, you know? I definitely want the front half to feel, again, something like a Wildemoss situation. Ooh, interesting. Maybe I could do something like that too. That changes up things in an ugly way. It's crazy how shapes change things so much. Do you actually need people suggesting names? Or Colossal? Or Colossal. I don't even know how Boost is gonna be. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be, if I call it, I probably won't call it like Boosted, like say whatever the Husky is, right? I don't think I'm gonna be like Boosted Huskymon, right? It might get its own name. Maybe the clip is more like a half circle, like more organic in its biology. Look like a Zabuza's sword, maybe, but okay, I'll do this for now. It's already 9:30. I'm 2.5 hours in, so let me. You know what? I wonder what for these guys. I kind of want to figure out the look feel for the spirit thingy, and I'll quickly do a design for the quote-unquote second stage. What do you guys think? Should I call it first stage, second stage, third stage? Because like I have like something like spirit stage in mind for this, but like I think ordering by numbers would just be easier, right? Maybe like the shapes are always like orbs like this. I don't want the tail in the back, or if there is a tail in the back, it'll look like kind of like a ghost like this. And I designed the critter to always have at least yo, this is lit. I love this little guy. He's so cute. Yeah, I'll give them like little tails like this. And they have like super limited details maybe. And perhaps they're all like monotone. Or maybe they can be colored to represent the type or the domain they live in. We shall see. Base first, second, third boost. That's 5. I would say 4 max. So maybe I'll say this: first, second, third boost. Keeps it simple. The spirit form reminds me of, yeah, I'm thinking Soul Eater. I'm thinking one of my all-time favorite animes, Shaman King. Something cute and simple. Maybe I can put like the fin at the top. So, gang, what do you think? Do I put Potempo on my Mr. Bonny John channel, or should I make a Potempo channel? I don't think I'm doing a Potempo channel, You know what? I'll just keep it on my Instagram, my Twitter, and stuff. I'm Potempo's dad. That's interesting shape. Guys, I'm so proud. I really am a proud papa right now. We're making history. Maybe we'll look back at this and be like, wow, Bonny really did it, that son of a gun. With his loyal and beautiful chat watching and cheering on. Right? Why is it not adjusting, gang? Hold on. It's being dumb. Let me reset it. Photoshop will do that sometimes. You know what, gang? I might have to do Bonsters. If I'm doing Bonsters art, I might have to do it only 3 times a week. Because it's going to be a lot of drawing and I need to balance it with the rest of the art I'm doing for Pokemon Cross D&D. So if I'm doing Bonster art, it'll probably be 3 times a week. Maybe they're all like beach ball volleyball sizes. Okay, let's draw. I haven't even flipped this sucker. I'll have to come up with a symbol for boost as well. Maybe tomorrow, gang, what I'll do is we'll do more symbols. I'll figure out like bruiser, attacker, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll do... Oh, you know what? I could put the teeth back here. That way. Are you settled for just the one starter, or is there potentially another? Having a cat-like mon that leans towards chaos could be a good counterpart to this mon. This is not the first monster. Monster, damn it. Potempo, it's not. So don't worry. This isn't the first one you're choosing. This will probably be like an end game kind of like Dragonite slash, you know what I mean? What I'm planning on doing is it could start as like a very malleable kind of creature, and then depending on, like for order, I could go for a dog, and then for chaos, it could be a cat, and then for what would be the middle one. So that way I kind of introduce that there are multiple forms and stuff. Especially for the starter monster, I don't mind that it lives in its own niche, This will be a exotic level. This is one of the it's the highest on the mortal plane of Potempos. Oh, hi, I'm just catching this. Fox? Oh, that's a good idea. No, foxes are definitely more tricksters than cats. Oh man, I would like a fox. So it could be dog for order, then cat for chaos, and then maybe in another region the chaos would be like a fox, and then for fair it would be lizard's just sitting there licking its eyes. I thought this would be over. It feels like now that I'm doing my art streams again, it may go longer. The name, and I suggest you rec to go through because I've really explained a lot, is Potempo. Potempos will be the new Bonsters. Anytime chat or I say Bonster, that's 25 cents into the jar. Yeah, it's kind of like I'm thinking my starter will be a Eevee-esque kind of Potempo that really teaches the player about the alignments. Since the domains don't really affect type advantages and stuff like that. What would be the most middle of the ground? Maybe cat is the middle of the ground with fox being the chaos, because cats can be loving and then they can be mischievous. You know what I mean? But I think, yeah, more people would expect cat to be chaos for sure. Let me do a husky kind of thing, and then I'll call the end of the stream. And again, maybe I could even design it so that its back fur maybe even looks like a you know. Also, if the pose looks whack, it's because I'm not looking at any kind of wolf reference or anything, okay? And again, I'll have the tail kind of split up like this, maybe, just to give a little hint of what's to come. So I think it's really cool that the spirit form is more the orca, like I said, totem pole, right? Oh, you know what? Bear could be order, I feel like. Monkey could be fair. Oh, I feel like monkey could be owlbear. No, I want the owlbear to be like cryptid. Panda, burb is always a good one for the fair. Maybe panda would be cute because they're just chilling. It might be panda. They are chaotic in a lazy way. They're not like structured by order. Monkey would make a ton of sense too. I like bird as well. It might be bird. It may be cat, bird, and dog. Panda's a cute one. I'm really leaning towards bird, I think. You know, because like depending, like an eagle, we surmise more towards order because we see it as like a powerful symbol, right? Fair could be a more humanoid path. I mean, I think that's more so like boosted potempos are definitely more humanoid. I mean, they can. Obviously, in the case of this orca, which I gotta figure out a cool name. You know what? I think what I can do, let me work like this. I'm going to make it so that it's like that. It's a small thing where it's like, okay, you can kind of see it's like a husky, and it's like slowly, maybe it'll have like the one kind of tail, and then it splits into the two tails. It's like a regular puppy, you don't know better. And then it evolves. And then it boost evolves. Man, I'm so happy. I've always wanted a husky Pokemon. And now I get to make a husky Patempo. Monkey could lean towards either or, it's true. So I like funky monies. Burba. Pandas are associated with both yin and yang. Oh, is that true? I mean, I guess they do have the black and the white. A lot to consider, gang. A lot to consider. You know what? Maybe it's more like this baby form. He's more like a silver. Right? Maybe he's more of a silver. That way the black really makes this guy feel like more standout. And we'll still have like the undercarriage be white, the piece around there's nothing inherently quote unquote unique about this design. And I'm wondering, is that a bad thing per se? Because I think just because he's not super, he still looks cool, but he looks like a wolf. But the idea is that when he's unlocked with the bond, he becomes something more. And I think that will unlock something cool as far as like, imagine you're sitting there as a kid playing for the first time and you're like, your wolf becomes that thing. I think that's how you kind of make Mega work, by really taking this middle concept, or like the quote unquote final form, right? The maturation of an entity like this. Because I don't want to force, again, any kind of Pokemon kind of stuff, right? Something like where it's like, this is Orca Dog, and it's also a ringmaster at the circus. So therefore, it's going to, its tail is a whip that the ringmaster. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that kind of stuff. I mean, that still looks pretty badass. Although, what kind of bird? This is true. The bird definitely would alter what feels like what's fair, like in the middle of the ground. Hawk, condor, penguin, cassowary. Yeah, I like cat, bird, and dog. I don't know if you're open to rabbits. Ooh, the antelope or the jackrabbit. That would be cool too. Is that Jelliana Bean? What if the first Evo is called Aklad and the second one is called Inuimut? I don't know how much I want to do real world references, just because it feels more Pokemon like. I might change my tune completely. I like Aklad, but I wonder if I genuinely don't know, gang, how I'm going to do naming. Is there, what are the unique ways other games do it? Like Nino Kuni, I think, straight up call their spirits like actual names, like Hunky Jack or some crazy thing like that. And then you have things like, obviously Digimon uses the suffix mon for all of it, which makes it very unique. Pokemon has puns, often referring to real world things. Like, as much as I'm referring to the Auklet, I'm not trying to like use the reference to make an accurate Auklet, right? I don't want anybody to be like, but Bond, that's not what the Auklet is a cryptid. You know, I'm just using it as inspiration and making a cool design first and foremost, you know? Obviously certain names, yeah, like they're like really tethered to the culture, and Auklet might be one of them. So like I said, I may very well be changing my tune down the line. But yeah, I'm not sure yet, gang. We'll certainly see. We'll do his fur kind of popping out like a, again, like maybe this one, since his like fur is more wet or something, maybe he's more like matted down or something. I like a tail that splits, that kind of looks like without being an orca tail, it still kind of feels like it, you know? Again, it's a little basic of a design, but I'm not like too bothered by it. It still looks really cool. It looks like mischievous in a way. Proportion, design stuff, a lot of it is still so open to change, of course. This is a very first pass that I'm doing live on stream. Train of consciousness, be damned, you know? I mean, I think this looks pretty cool, gang. What do you guys think? This looks so jank. I can't figure out why. This looks crazy. Parrot is chaos but smart like order. Make a corruption spelling of a real word. I'm seeing a bit of chupacabra. Yeah, it might be because, you know, the Inuit were scared of their of these creatures naturally. So incorporating maybe like a skull motif, but it's really, you know, again, I don't know. I'm trying to figure things out, but I think this looks pretty cool. Like, it's a start. So let's say this would be like the potential line of how I want the jumps to be. Like, you're raising these spirit creatures to become tangible, right? In second form. You have your first form. So let's do first. So first you need to attune and you catch this guy. And the second form looks like this. They're always like, you know, a baby, like a realized, yes, when in doubt, always flip. And then its third form is always like the matured kind of form. I don't think I need to do a teenager with attitude kind of thing. I like this kind of jump. And then I always want to make sure the next form is like this massive jump where it's almost like taking on, again, like a totem pole, like the various elements of it is calling back to the first rung of the totem pole. You know what I mean? Cool. I think this is where I can probably call it, guys. Obviously, I want to sit with you guys for a couple of minutes and reflect. What do you guys think of the very first Potempo that I designed on stream? I see obviously tons of places to improve and whatnot. I think that jump from the third into the boost is the level that I want to see for many of my creatures. And boost is just left field. What does that mean? It's so cool. I think it's really dope that I made it, the third form, simple. It's just a mature wolf, and it doesn't need to have a thing like, oh, it's a water type or an ice type. It has to have this kind of thing. It doesn't. It's not Pokemon. It's Potempo. It just needs to be a matured entity that's holding potential, right? And with your bond stepping in tempo, you help it unleash its maybe ancient form or, you know, fully realized form, whatever that means, right? But yeah. So yeah, gang, I think this is it. It's a good start. We'll settle into design conventions. Yeah, without a doubt. Naturally, I think I'll have plenty of Pokemon vibes. You guys know, when you see my Fakemon, you guys know they're Pokemon because it's the context. But like, my proportions are different from Pokemon. The way I render my creatures is different. So down the line, I think I'll find the look feel that that I think we need. The baby guy is looking really funny to me. Like his proportions are a little shaky. But you know. And naming is in progress. Yeah, I gotta really figure out the name. I'm already feeling cramps in my hand. It's been, yeah, I've been drawing for a while between Skarmory and then another 4 designs. So I'm gonna have to take care. What I might have to do is if I'm doing monsters designs, I might do every other day, but just 3 times a week. So maybe something like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something like that, you know? And like I said, not all creatures will have boost forms. You know, boost evolution will be a mechanic saved for certain concepts, right? And the more built-in, baked-in concepts, like an owl bear would be one that I would absolutely do. Baby cub evolves into an owl, and then it becomes an owl bear, right? Maybe we'll do owl bear tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to make it a mythic. It'll probably be more cryptic than mythic, actually. I think that'll be cool. Naming, I'll sit down, and if I come up with cool names, I don't know what, again, the naming convention's going to be. I don't think it's going to end in Mon like Digimon. I don't think... going the Pokemon route, I don't think anyone's going to be in, like, wow, you know, you stole Pokemon's naming convention. I think a lot of monster tamers use that avenue, right? I could straight up go the persona route and straight up reference the actual, like, maybe this boost form is called Aklut, right? I don't know. I don't think that's what I want to do, but that's an option. Because, like, would I call the boost form for the owlbear simply owlbear? Probably not, you know? So, the whole lines are going to share the names like in Invisimals. What is that? What is Invisimals like, Riker? I'm back. Welcome back. Well, either way, gang, it's coming on to 10 o'clock my time at 2 hours 45. I say right here is a good time to call it. If you have ideas, just let me know in chat. I'm always open to hearing ideas. As you guys see, disclaimer, by participating in the stream, you relinquish any claim to development of this intellectual property belonging to Bonny John. Boring stuff, but it's stuff that I have to do to protect myself. You guys already know the vibes. Because doing something this creative on stream isn't something that I think a lot of people do. I know some people do. But you know, I'm trying to build something that represents me, and I'm just glad you guys seem to enjoy it so far. I figured that, but I want to know what the naming convention's like. But you can tell me tomorrow. The lines all share a name. Best idea, don't die tonight. I don't plan on it unless you know something I don't. But guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see how my hand feels. I'm already feeling the strain, which is crazy. I guess this is the most amount of drawing I've done in a while, I think. Or maybe I didn't properly stretch. We didn't have Gabby to remind me for stretching. Tiger Shark Pup evolves into Tiger Shark Colt. Oh, I see. Oh, I don't hate that. I don't hate that, actually. But we'll see. I'll figure it out. But all right, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. I will see you all potentially tomorrow. If not, the day after. I'll see how my hand feels. I'm doing a lot of drawing Pokemon D&D and all this. So, but hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm glad to have revealed Totempo. Not Totempo. That was a potential one I wanted to do for Totem. But it's Potempo. So take care, you guys.